Alrighty, welcome to a 3-on-3 vintage cube draft. It's myself, Slacks, and Alpha Frog, who was one of the founders of the server, battling against the legend Sandy Dog, Xantos, and Jujubeen, who's a very skilled player. Always fear to face the Bean. He has a very good record in these. I don't have a great pack here. What is my pick? It's probably going to be Reanimate, to be honest. Reanimate's a good card. The reason Reanimate is such a good early pick is that it's good in any black deck because 1 mana to get a creature from either graveyard is just a very strong effect. And of course it leads to one of the better decks, Reanimator, if you can get it supported. But the fact that it's just good in any black deck is why I like it so much more than something like Exhume. Really the next best card is a lot weaker. It's Oracle, Duress, Ancient Tomb. Probably Ancient Tomb is going to be the next pick. I'm passing to Bean, getting passed to by Xantos. And not much to come back except maybe Thespian Stage. I always like being on the lookout. Well, speaking of which, there's the Dark Depths. It's interesting. So there's Una's Prowler here, but I'm not going to second pick on Una's Prowler. I think that's just not strong enough. This pack isn't very good. Yeah, so what would we take? We could take the Depths. It's not actually crazy. The reason that taking Depths I think isn't just completely wild is that nobody except Xantos knows that Depths is in this pack. So if Xantos sees the Thespian Stage, maybe they take it, but no one else would. If we pass the Depths, we're unlikely to get both Depths and Stage back. That being said, what are our other options? There's Custodial Lich, which I think is fine, but I don't think is crazy good. There's Red-Black Talisman. Stoneforge Mystic might be the best individual card in the pack. I do like Zeranorb, but I don't usually start with Zeranorb. There's also Show and Tell and maybe try to wheel Worldspine Worm. I don't even think Show and Telling Worldspine Worm is that good. I don't really like any of these options, honestly. I think I am just going to take the Dark Depths and not stress if the Thespian Stage doesn't wheel. Depths is the more important one anyway because of Vampire Hexmage acting as a backup Thespian Stage. I just didn't really want any of those cards. I'm going to take Mox Diamond here. It's great in the lands deck. It's good in any deck, really. I think it's it's Mox at home, but sometimes you need it. Let's actually do 2 rows. I like having a little more room. What are we going to take here? This is also a pretty weak pack. Well, we're going to take Mox Diamond. Sorry. What are we going to wheel here? I guess I assume the lands are going to be gone, and Bitter Union, if it came back, would be nice. Rolling Earthquake and Intrepid Adversary probably going to be gone. Okay, so this pack has Force of Will, which is good, Birds, which is good. Also has Recurring Nightmare, and I already have Reanimate, and I think Recurring Nightmare is just an awesome card. It's just like Reanimate, it's a card that can go into fair decks. The one thing is Recurring Nightmare does take a little bit more to build around, so let's get some more rows in there. So you can't just stick Recurring Nightmare into any deck, but it doesn't take that much. You just need a bunch of creatures in your deck, maybe some ETBs, and you're doing well. Or use it as like a way to cheat out big creatures, or both. I think Force, Birds are going to go. Thalia is probably going to Sandy Dog's pile. Wandering Emperor is likely to go, and then Fairy Mastermind, Hero, or Dam. Hero less likely if Thalia and Wandering Emperor are both taken, but I'm still just going to take the Recurring Nightmare. Okay. Ooh, this is a good pack. Wow, I was looking at that Snuff Out. There's also a Luris, though I already took Recurring Nightmare, which makes Luris a little less attractive. There's Copter, and there's Rona. I think I just take Copter. It's an awesome colorless card. It's good with the Reanimator deck because you can discard cards to it, but it's also good just in a value deck. You can use it with Recurring Nightmare. I don't think I'll get Snuff Out back, but I think Council of Judgment, Luris, Burst Lightning are likely to go. Probably the Snuff Out, maybe the Staff or Scarab God, or Lava Claw, which opens the door for Rona to come back to me. So let's take that. And then now there's a fetch land, which I do like. A couple elves, or Cobra, Elves, Tireless Tracker, Crater Hoof. There's Fatal Push, which is really good in general. Do I take Fatal Push or do I take Arid Mesa? Arid Mesa is definitely a stronger card. I think it's just so rough to pass a fetch land here. Okay, Thespian Stage came back, and I'm going to take it. I think once you have Dark Depths, Thespian Stage actually becomes a very good pick. That's why I took the Dark Depths. And then there's Caryatid, Loam, Oracle. So there's 3 green cards. We might get Loam back, which is actually really nice with Mox Diamond, Mesa, and Depth Stage. Especially since someone's going to take Spellclaw and someone's probably going to take Hard Evidence. So, and Odawara. Yeah, there's a good chance we get Loam back, or maybe even one of those other green cards. Okay, Una's Prowler came back, which probably should be the pick here, though. Custodial Lich is a stronger card. Honestly, there's a chance we get Prowler back even if we take Custodial Lich here. Here, I actually want more rows. More rows, because I want to set these there, and then... yeah, so if we take Custodial Lich, someone's going to take Cathar Commando and Blood Crypt and Talisman. And all I need is 2 people to select Sower, Worldspine, or Grim. And I don't even care that much if Worldspine comes back. Whoever took Show and Tell out of that pack's probably taking Worldspine. Okay, so Raging Ravine is still here, but I think Wall of Blossoms could be pretty good with Recurring Nightmare. Though so is Thragtusk. I'm not going to take either of the white cards here. And I don't think I take Hanger back. I think I would most likely want... I think Thragtusk, because it is actually really good with Recurring Nightmare. It gains you a ton of life and puts a bunch of creatures into play. Like, it seems like that's pretty strong. Oh, all of the white cards came back. Interesting. I'm probably going to take the Kroxa anyway. We're looking like we could be a red-black grindy deck, maybe splashing Thragtusk or something. I guess I'll just pass all the white cards. There's also Dam, which is a fine card, but I like Kroxa in general. Okay, Lurrus came back. Oh, wow. Okay, so Council's Judgment and Lurrus came back. I think I will take Lurrus now, because Lurrus is a card that you can put in your deck. I have 2 cheap things to play, I guess Mox technically. And I don't really feel that Council's Judgment is where I want to jump into. I do like Staff of the Storyteller, too. I have a white fetch, but I think Lurrus is a pretty good one. And then now, Tireless Tracker is the best of these cards, but actually Lotus Cobra is looking better to me here. I think with Arid Mesa to make double mana, it's good with Lurrus. Yeah, I do like Tracker, but I think I will take Cobra here. Oracle and Loam both wield, but I'll just take Oracle. Oracle's pretty good. Okay, Una's Prowler didn't wield, but I will take Grim Lavamancer here. Last pick, Intrepid Adversary. So it could have jumped into white, but I don't think it has too much synergy with what we have, though. Then we open Pearl and Fast Bond. Oh, I love Fast Bond, but I'm going to take Mox Pearl. I'm not passing that. Okay, well, Mox Pearl can cast Lurrus. We also have Arid Mesa and Mox Pearl and white's open. We could just start taking white cards now. I don't think, like, we even have this Intrepid Adversary. Oh, sorry, I put that in the sideboard view down here. Like, we passed up on Council's Judgment, the Wanderer. Those don't super fit with what we've got going, but we'll take Pearl here. So Fastbond's definitely not coming back. Neither is Misty or Urza. But that means that we might get Raugrin Triumph. We might get Prismari Command. Maybe Magda. I don't think... These white cards don't seem like they're getting taken, or at least someone's not in heavy white. Okay, this pack's got Hex Drinker, which I think is just an awesome card. I think I will take Hex Drinker. It's also great with Lurrus, by the way. So is Intrepid Adversary. So, you know, we could be in the Lurrus zone. Whoever took Stoneforge is probably going to take the Batterskull. I don't think Godless Shrine's coming back. Though it might if enough people want Brazen Borrower or Riftwing. Delighted Halfling might also come back. Oh, there's also a Grave Titan. I do love Grave Titan. But, you know, as good as it is with Recurring Nightmare, Hex Drinker is just awesome and cheap, and I have 2 more expensive cards. I think I'll just take Hex Drinker. This pack, oh, it's got a Troxa. I'm just going to take a Troxa. Like, I do like Skull Clamp, and I even have a couple 1-toughness creatures, but a Troxa is just busted. It's just so good to reanimate. You can also just cast it. There's also Flash, which isn't coming back, but because whoever took World Spine Worm and Show and Tell, if the same person ended up with both, they're definitely taking Flash. But I'm going to take a Troxa now. I think a Troxa is too good. Flash, Skull Clamp, K-Command, Unholy Heat, V-Click probably get taken. Maybe I get Talisman back. Maybe I get Nissa. Not that I really want Nissa. Wow, Palace Jailer. Also Seasoned Pyro. This is looking more like a Seasoned Pyro deck. There's also Gristlebrand, but I have Recurring Nightmare and Reanimate, and I have a Troxa, so having a way to get those into the graveyard seems pretty good. Plus, I don't think Xantos is playing white. In fact, I don't know who is playing white at this table, so I don't feel like it's a big risk to pass Palace Jailer. I also like Wrenn and 6. If it wheels, I'll take it, but I'm going to take the Pyromancer here. Wild. Okay, now there's a Fracture Identity and a Gaia's Cradle. Can I take Fracture Identity? I'm really junned, so taking a white-blue card is like a little bit dubious. Can I take Gaia's Cradle? I love Gaia's Cradle so much. I've got Seasoned Pyro for tokens and a couple cheap creatures. It doesn't seem crazy to take Gaia's Cradle. There's also a white-black Talisman or a white-green Talisman. Those are both legit. I'm just going to take Cradle. I'm obsessed with Gaia's Cradle. We'll pick up some more creatures here. I think, especially since Fractured and Probe are both going to get taken, there's a pretty good chance I wheel one of the things. Oh, a new edition, Wildfire. Each player loot sacks 4 lands and deals 4 to each creature. Pretty cool card. And what am I doing here? I mean, there's Loran. Dragon's Rage Channeler is actually kind of interesting. It gets cards into my graveyard. It's good with Cradle. It's good with Luris. I don't know. There's also Fiery Islet as a red-blue land, but I don't need blue mana that badly. I can also just take Questing Beast. Questing Beast is pretty solid. I'm just like kind of junned with Value, Wreck, and Reanimate. There's also Anduril, Flame of the West, but I think that's just whatever. All right, let's just take Questing BZ. Yeah, Magda Wield, which I'll probably take. None of the white cards really got taken. All the cards I thought that were going to get taken got taken. There's also Buried Alive, but I don't love that one too much. Okay, Godless Shrine's interesting because it makes not Thespian Stage, Arid Mesa into black mana, but Delighted Halfling's probably just too good for this deck. I've not only have Magda, Kroxa, Luris, Oracle, or sorry, not Oracle, Questing Beast and Atraxa as legends. It's also just an accelerant, and I have Gaia's Cradle, so let's do that. Red-Green Talisman came back. So did Unholy Heat and Uro. I mean, I wouldn't mind the Talisman. I am playing red-green. I like Uro, but I don't think splashing it is right. All right, let's take the Talisman over Unholy Heat. Flame Tongue's also great with Recurring Nightmare. I guess I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accelerants already. Maybe I just take Flame Tongue. Yeah, no, Flame Tongue actually seems good. And I think there's another pack where I might wheel Talisman. Not really in the position to play Omnath. I could play Gaunty. Gaunty is another good Recurring Nightmare card. And I think Tainted Pack's cute, but I'm not there. All right, yeah, Green-White Talisman came back, and I think I will take it. I think having another Talisman, plus it casts Luris and Atraxa off white mana. I think that's all right. Could use a bit more lands. Unfortunately, we opened a Pearl along with Misty Rainforest, so couldn't justify taking the Misty, of course, there. So we're like Jund mid-range with slight Reanimate theme, where I'll either cast Atraxa or discard it to Pyromancer. I would like to pick up another discard outlet. The Bitter Union didn't wheel. As I said, the Flash didn't wheel. And I could take Dragon's Rage Channel, but honestly, this might be an Anduril deck. It's actually pretty good with Cradle. I have a lot of dorky creatures. Yeah, let's just take that. And Ephemerate, I don't think, I mean, it's good with it's good with all my expensive cards. It's not that good with my cheap cards. Ephemerate Kroxa, make them discard so many cards. I've got a bunch of free white. Let's just take Buried Alive. I don't think I'm going to play Buried Alive. I might play Manglehorn, though. All right. Well, weird spot to be in. Well, there's a Time Walk. I guess we're splashing blue. Yeah, I mean, Time Walk is busted. We have a Mox Diamond and a Lotus Cobra so far. Well, let's work on our mana. Oh, if we wheel Zeotor's Proving Ground, which actually could happen. Someone's going to take Marsh Flats. Someone's going to take Sea. Someone's going to take Goldspan. Someone's going to take Channel. I just need one person to want, like, Stern Scolding or Botanical Sanctum. Or maybe Reckless Stormseeker or Faithless Looting. Plus, if we don't wheel Proving Ground, we might wheel Faithless Looting. Well, but I'm taking Time Walk here. We've got a lot of playables, so we're going to need to focus on lands here. Sakura Tribe Elder is a way to get lands. So is Noble, though. Noble's great. I think I take Noble over Grist and hope to wheel Grist, but if we don't, wheel and Creeping Tar Pit's fine. Noble casting Time Walk is really nice. Also can help cast Luris or Atraxa. Yeah, Noble is super good. We could also potentially wheel Sakura Tribe Elder. This pack's got a lot of stuff. Or Primetime, probably play that. Verdant Catacombs. It's only black-green right now, but we're hoping to make that better, and maybe we wheel Hex Mage. Tundra is not really the land we're looking for, but easy Verdant Catacombs here. And wow, okay. There's Savannah, there's Exploration, but there's also Natural Order, and I have a Troxa, the GOAT Natural Order target, so plus a bunch of cheap green creatures. Yeah, we're taking Natural Order here. Maybe we wheel Devoted Druid, Courser, Liliana. I mean, there's a bunch of cards I wouldn't mind coming back here, but I'm Natural Ordering. We're a couple cards over here. It's also possible, depending on how this pack goes, that we minimize red. Like, already thinking maybe we take out Grim Lavamancer. Like, if we take Grim Lavamancer, Magda, Croxa, I mean, we took an early Pyromancer, but even if we take all those cards out, we don't have any red cards in our deck. Not saying we're going to do that necessarily, but this actually could be legit. Okay, here we're going to take Grief. Grief Reanimate is obviously just a great scam. Grief plus Recurring Nightmare is also fantastic, and maybe we'll get back Night's Whisper, Sylvan, Troll of Khazad-dûm. All those would be interesting, but I think Grief is great. Okay, white, green, blue. That's not really a land that helps me too much, is it? It turns Arid Mesa into green and blue, though? No, that's good enough. That is good enough. All right. That was pick 6, so no new stuff. All right. Yeah. I mean, also, if you look at the mana, I haven't gotten that much in the way of red support for my fixing. I just have the Arid Mesa. Oh, it also makes Verdant into blue, which is nice. And I'm going to have enough white to cast this Atroxa, which is cool. Oh, Marsh Flats wheeled. So did Proving Ground. So Marsh Flats is white, black, green, blue, but not red, and won't be red. We didn't see any lands that do, but white, black, green, blue. There's also Proving Ground, which is black, green, red, and makes Mesa into green, but it already is. Makes Mesa into black, which it's not. Makes Verdant into red, which it's not. If I take the Proving Ground, can I end up playing red? I only have one red card I really want to play. It's double red. That makes me less inclined to want it, but no, it's still a black-green, a land that taps for black and green, which is valuable. Okay, Sakura Tribelder or Grist. You can Recurring Nightmare or Reanimate Grist, which is nice. You could also technically Natural Order for it. I think Grist is just really strong, so... And I think, especially if I've cut red, my mana's gotten a bit better. Okay, now I probably just take the Hex Mage. There's also Tundra, which makes Arid Mesa into untapped blue. That's something. Can I get Hex Mage back last pick? Take that. I'll probably get Enlightened Tutor. So do I want Tundra or Hex Mage? Probably just want Hex Mage here. Having that combo is pretty nice. Okay, Savannah makes Arid Mesa into untapped green, which it currently is not. That is actually really valuable. Sorry, Exploration, I do like you, but... All right, well, Sylvan Library is great. I'll take that. I could take Voice of Resurgence here. I don't mind missing out on Maelstrom Pulse too much, and Voice is great with Natural Order and great with Recurring Nightmare and great against blue decks. I have so much free white mana. Like, I can play white cards without worrying. So if I remove these that I, at this point, am not playing, I'll take an Abrupt Decay. I can side that in. Or I could also take Magus of the Order. I mean, this actually could just be a fine Magus of the Order deck. I have good cards to get. No, I'd rather have Abrupt Decay. I think Magus is kind of weak, and Abrupt Decay is at least a good sideboard card. Okay, so this is 34. So if you add 6 more, this would be 14 lands. Really 13 because of Dark Depths doesn't count, but 14 because of Mox, which means I only have to cut a couple cards. And let's see. Will I play Knight of the Reliquary here? I actually think I will. I like Thraben Inspector too, don't get me wrong, but I think Knight of the Reliquary is going to make the cut. All right, yeah, we didn't... I thought we were going to get Enlightened Tutor last. I guess we got Elspeth instead. That's fine. Okay, this last pack was pretty good for me. I think cutting red was right, even though I took the Seasoned Pyromancer pretty high, but, you know, what can you do, right? Sunk Cost Fallacy and all that. Another Atroxa Time Walk deck. Atroxa Recur. Let's see. So We have to cut a couple cards from what I saw here, but that's not going to be too hard. We've got, I think, a pretty solid deck. Also, we opened Pearl and Time Walk, so, and the mana ended up working out fairly well. Because again, you add 5 cards. This is 13 lands. Okay, so I need to cut like four cards or so. And these are my sideboard cards. Don't think we're Reanimator enough to want Buried Alive, unfortunately. I could cut Gaunty. I could cut Luris. What does Luris do? It lets me replay these 3 1-drops. Hexmage, Cobra, Voice. I don't have anything that like sacks besides Recurring Nightmare and I guess the -2 on Grist to make Luris awesome. But it is a good value card. Maybe I cut Luris and bring it in against a deck that's going to be killing my small creatures. Anduril Flame of the West is another one, which I'm not sure if I want. I like Manglehorn, I think. Green-White Talisman could also potentially go. I have 2 1-drop excels and 1 2-drop excel. Vampire Hexmage I think is good. Just having random Depths Hexmage draws is great. I also could play a red card if I wanted, because I have Proving Ground, Arid Mesa, Verdant, Mox Diamond. I have, and Lotus maybe, so I've got 5 red sources without playing a mountain. Maybe if Flame Tongue is especially good, I'll board it in. I guess I probably have to cut one of the expensive cards, so it's probably Gaunty. And I probably cut, I want to cut the Talisman. It doesn't work with Gaia's Cradle or Natural Order, which makes me a little less interested in it. Okay, let me do my lands here. So I really just have the 1 blue card that I can cast off Spara's Headquarters, which can be fetched by those 2 plus Mox. So that's 4 sources plus Noble and Cobra, so 6 sources. Well, let's see. I want 4. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, that's actually a lot of green sources. I'll probably just play 1 more to have 10. And then for black, 2, 3, 4. I'll have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 black sources. Okay, that feels pretty good. I think that's 17 lands, 18 with Pearl, back down to 17 because Depths doesn't count, but it's nice. You can actually discard Depths to Mox Diamond, which is a totally fine play to make. Unfortunately, that does mean you don't end up being able to bring it back. This deck didn't pick up any of the Loam type cards. I mean, I think Oracle over Loam, which I would do again. All right, well, I'm going to take the Talisman out. It's a tough cut, but I think I have to. And probably the Voice or Anduril. Anduril's nice with all the mana dorks. I do like that. Also, is it possible that I do want to take the Hexmage out? Then I wish I would have had Tundra, though I actually don't even really know if I would have wanted Tundra in the deck. A white-blue land doesn't actually help me that much. Knight of the Reliquary seems pretty good. It can get Cradle or the Depths combo. And I didn't even count, but I have got to have tons of white sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus the mana dorks. Yeah. Also, cutting a black card makes the Grief Scam play a little harder, which is not nothing. Do I cut Voice or Anduril? I think is the last cut here. Voice would take me to 13 creatures plus Grist. Though Anduril does make creatures. Anduril is a strong card. It's pretty good with Time Walk. Well, Time Walk's pretty good. Voice is easy enough to splash. I'm kind of worried about the Smuggler's Copter too if I go down too much on creatures. But I don't think I can cut Thragtusk or Custodial. I can't cut Thragtusk because I will want a Natural Order for Thragtusk some other time. So good with Recurring Nightmare. Same with Custodial Lich. And we're on the Natural Order Atraxa plan. We have no way to discard it besides Smuggler's Copter, which is something. It's just awkward because if I cut voice, the sword gets a little worse, but the sword is also really strong. And I don't think I can cut a land because 16 land? It'd be really, yeah, maybe 16 land with Halfling, Noble, Lotus, Sylvan Library is okay. There's also the possibility of cutting Manglehorn. I like it with Recurring Nightmare a fair amount, though. You know, I'm going to cut the Voice of Resurgence and maybe I'll board it in against removal or counter spells. So we'll see how this goes. I think this deck's pretty good, and I've got some good sideboard options like Flame Tongue and Voice of Resurgence. All right, plus I love having Atroxa Natural Order. That has won me a lot of games. Let's see how this does. Alrighty, welcome to round one, battling against Sandy Dog, who I don't think is actually playing white this time. I'm going to keep this hand. Oh, this looks like a turn one Knight of the Reliquary to me. Get to go Forest, Pearl, Mox, discarding Swamp, Knight of the Reliquary. I'm in for that. Let's see if Sandy's actually on like Storm or whatever. And then turn two, I can play Sylvan and start getting the Depths combo going. Seems like a great start. Let's do it. Depths is a pretty fast clock. Oh, or playing red. Red also works, but no Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning. Nice. Sylvan Library was, or not, Atroxa was not the ideal draw. That's okay though. Let's just pass the turn here. So, okay, so red-blue. One thing that's a little annoying here is I'm going to get Thespian Stage, but I have to find a forest or plains off of Sylvan here in order to have that work. Ooh, what are we doing? Fairy Mastermind, interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to put on top, pay 4 life to keep in hand. Yeah, I gotta give Sandy the card. If I had drawn a forest, I wouldn't have done that, but I needed to find a forest this turn. Otherwise, I was just going to do nothing. That did not seem great to me. Huh, okay. Guess we'll take it. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go for it here. If Sandy's got an answer, Sandy's got an answer. I'll keep this Depths. And Brazen Borrower. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Draw. Yeah, I'm going to use the ability, that's fine. I'll put on top, pay 4 life. Play a forest, cast Time Walk, attack for 7. Another card is pretty big now. Take my turn, draw. I will not use it this turn. Play a land, play Manglehorn. Because now this actually makes it so Sandy's artifacts come into play tapped, which is nice. Next turn, I'm 1 mana short of casting Atroxa here, which is funny. If I guess I can actually Knight of the Reliquary for Gaia's Cradle next turn to cast Atroxa, if it even comes down to that. Oh, Sandy considering casting Force of Will on Manglehorn. Or Stern Scolding, maybe? Stern Scolding would also make sense. And I'm still going to get to attack for 7 here. Let's take our turn. I could have not gone for the Depths combo, but like I just win if I do have it. And I guess Sandy attacking, you may destroy. This is the old templating. Sandy attacking was kind of a giveaway that he had something, but I don't know, maybe I just don't do it to force him to keep mana up, I guess. Let's see what he's got. Beating down, interesting. Okay. I got an 8 here. And untap, huh? This is wild. So I could attack with Knight. It would be lethal. What could he have? I think I'm just going to do this. This kind of forces him to have a counterspell here. Just cast Atroxa. And if you have counterspell, you have a counterspell. Is it a mana drain? Oh. Venser. Oh, okay. Yeah, Venser's not the end of the world here. I'm just not going to attack. So I guess if I attacked with the Knight, I would get Venser bounce the Knight. This ends up about the same place, except he knows I have Atroxa coming. Oh. Strip Mine for the Cradle. Cradle to Grave here. And Sower the Knight. Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble. Up until then, we were looking pretty good. I'm kind of thinking that I don't want... Use Sylvan's ability. That I don't want depths in my deck against Strip Mine, Venser, Sower, Fairy Mastermind, Brazen Bar. All those cards are actually really good against that. Well, Fairy Mastermind and Sower aren't insane, but Venser, Brazen, and Strip Mine are all really good against depths. I might just cut the depths combo. I'm just deciding here if I want to Sylvan. So what am I doing with this Manglehorn? I guess I'm just not going to Sylvan. I'm going to attack here. And I think that, I wonder if he blocks with Venser. I really want him to block with Venser, otherwise I'm pretty screwed, but he might be worried about Fallen Shinobi, which is the reason to block. He knows I have Atroxa on hand, doesn't know the rest. I do lose if he doesn't block here, but if he does, he blocks with Venser. I reanimate Venser going to 2. Does that even do it? Let's see. If I reanimate Venser, I can bounce the Knight, but then the 2 flyers kill me. Yeah, I'm just dead. I can't cycle into anything either. Okay, so yeah, this makes stage depths just look really bad. So let's cut those. Let's put in a mountain, and I want Flame Tongue Kavu because I want to deal, and I don't want Anduril. I want to deal with all those creatures. And Voice of Resurgence also looks great. Okay, this looks like a lot better configuration against what I saw. Gonti could also be better than Manglehorn. I didn't see a single artifact. All right, let's try this. Basically, Strip Mine messes up the Depths combo by itself so badly, and then Brazen and Venser mean it's really hard for me even to go for it. So I think just cutting those is fine. I don't think Abrupt Decay is good because it doesn't kill Sower. Lurrus could be good too, but is it better than Knight of the Reliquary? Knight does get Cradle and is just kind of big, whereas Lurrus gets back... Oh wait, I can take out Hexmage from Lurrus. Hold on. Hexmage doesn't do anything anymore either. Okay, the only other thing is, do I want to splash Grim Lavamancer? I think it's a little too slow to do that, so let's not do that. Okay, I like this configuration a fair amount. I think the mountain's good because it lets me Arid Mesa for an untapped red, which I think is decent. Though maybe a Plains actually... Oh, I didn't put a Plains in my sideboard. Would have been better. Though I have Savannah. No, I already have Savannah, so I don't need a Plains at all. Yeah. All right, let's see how this goes. Yeah, Sandy does like drafting blue-red aggro. That is a deck that he's frequently in for. Okay, so we're playing against blue-black like Reanimator, and that's what Xantos is playing, and Juju Bean's playing like Grixis Control, it looks like, with Force of Will. Okay. There was a Stern Scolding, though I think Sandy would have probably countered the Manglehorn if he actually had it. Here... Well, that same draw I think would have ended up being pretty good. I'll keep this if I had known a little more about what Sandy had in his deck, and instead of going for the Depths combo, just like cast Questing Beast. The other thing is the Fairy Mastermind was brutal that game. It did a lot of damage to me attacking, and it really messed up my Sylvan because it meant Sylvan was a draw one a turn for him if I wanted to use it, and I kind of felt like I was obliged to use it at least one of those times. The second time, it's possible I could have not used it. But the first activation, I just had to use it. So here we get to go Spar's Headquarters into Swamp, Smuggler's Copter, into Grist to crew the Copter. And if for bonus points, discarding a cheap creature to lure us back could be nice. And maybe play a Gonti on turn 4. Spar's Headquarters casting Luris is pretty good too. So I do like that. Well, let's see if this pans out. This would have been a nice draw to have replace Mountain with like a Mox Pearl turn 1 Copter. Though I guess we'd have to replace Spar's Headquarters, otherwise I wouldn't actually have a turn 2 play. That's why you need a Mox Diamond. Still, turn 2 Copter, turn 3 Grist on the play is pretty strong, especially if Sandy's playing blue-red tempo, which looks like the deck. Every card we saw was aimed towards that, as opposed to playing something like Storm. But we'll see what Sandy brings to the table here. Yep. Let's roll. Getting to hopefully Gonti on 4. Maybe Gonti on 3 if I find a Mox. Though I guess if I find Mox Pearl, I would also need to find another black source. Mox Diamond might do it itself. And Luris gaining life is also a decent part of this sideboard plan. Being able to kind of make up if he's trying to tempo me out, which it seemed like what he had, like Brazen Borrower, Fairy Mastermind, Venser, Sower are all somewhat aggressive cards. Strip Mine. Oh man, Strip Mine would be really annoying this game as well. Hopefully that he does not lead on that. Okay. That's not too bad then. Oh, there's the Mox. Okay, well that actually makes me want to cast Grist here. I hope I don't get sudden Stern Scolding. That would be a beating. Just getting the Planeswalker going is nice, especially with Luris, because if I mill like a Noble Hierarch, I can go Mountain, cast Luris off Pearl, Swamp, Mountain, and then recast Noble from the graveyard. It's pretty great. Ledger Shredder into Git Probe. All right. I'm probably going to -2 Grist to kill Ledger Shredder, which I guess opens the door for Grist to die to a removal spell, but I'm okay with that. Yeah, this is blue-red aggro for sure. Oh, that's also pretty nice. I do have to kill the Ledger Shredder, though. I wish I had a better play. Then I wish I had another black to play Gonti. That would be such a good play this turn. I think I play Copter this turn. It's so mana inefficient, but what is my other option? Luris with no target seems pretty weak. Yeah, let's just do that. This puts Grist at risk to a Haster. And if Grist dies, it's pretty annoying, but I don't know. Casting Luris with nothing to bring back also seems kind of bad. And I really want Copter to be able to attack next turn because that could enable Recurring Nightmare. So I really have to play Copter this turn. Getting to attack with Copter and then plus Grist, play Recurring Nightmare, sack the token, and recur Gonti back. Sounds like a pretty great start. The funny thing is he discarded Bloodthirsty Adversary, which would actually be awesome here, but he didn't really know that. So let's see what the dog has this turn. No plays. All right. That is fine with me. Draw +1 Grist. Also, milling an Atroxa would be nice. Milling a Reanimate's like the opposite. Animate Copter. Decent chance Copter dies here. Oh, no. Nice. All right. Yes. Oh, interesting. I think I'm going to discard the Gonti. And land, cast Recurring Nightmare. This seems like the highest payoff here. I could have also discarded Sylvan and cast Luris to try to recast Sylvan. The problem with that play is if I do that and he counters the Luris, then I just have no other play this turn. Here, at least if Sandy countered the Recurring Nightmare, I would get to cast Sylvan. But this Gonti is pretty good. Mana Drain. Oh, wow. Mana Drain, Time Twister, Abbott. Okay. I'm going to exile Mana Drain. And I'm going to pass the turn with Mana Drain up. That seems great. Now if Sandy tries to play something, I get to Mana Drain it and just go nuts on my next turn. I think we're going to go to game 3 here pretty soon. The thing is, if he doesn't play anything, I'm just winning on board. And if he does play something, Mana Drain is going to be a house. Draw. +1 Grist. Crew Copter. Grist is real good. Go to attacks here. Attack. Loot. What a weird spot. He's got no plays. I could just discard the land. I could discard Luris. Do I even want the land? I think I can just discard the land. And then cast Sylvan and pass the turn probably. Leaving up Mana Drain. There's also a possibility that he plays a Venser here, but I don't even see what Venser does. He could kill one of my things. All right, he's not. Let's cast Sylvan. If this gets like a counter or something, I don't care. Pass the turn. No plays. So he discarded Bloodthirsty Adversary, which, I mean, it's not like the best card in the world, but is a play, and it just hasn't cast a spell for the last 3 turns. Didn't play a spell on turn 3 or turn 4, and now it's turn 5. What's going on over there? Maybe Sandy, we did see a Time Twister. Maybe Sandy is some kind of combo deck. I don't know. All the rest of the cards are kind of aggressive. Okay. No response there either. What do I do here? I guess I'm going to put on top. Put on top. +1 Grist, mill the Oracle. Maybe I'll Recurring Nightmare the Oracle, who knows? I mean, at some point Sandy's got to cast a spell. Crew the Copter. I'm going to keep Cradle in hand for now. Attack with these. Loot, discard the Swamp. Now is it time to play Venser and bounce the Copter or something? No, we're just going to 4. I guess I'm going to play Cradle and Recurring Nightmare. Okay, I'll Recurring Nightmare back the Oracle, sacking a token. I don't know what my top card is, so I don't know if I've got one more land to play or not. No, and I guess I could play Luris. Am I walking into a Wildfire here or something? I guess I could be, I don't know. Cast Luris with nothing to recast either. I still have this Mana Drain up, which is nice. And a Halfling on top. All right, I'll pass the turn. Is this Hull Breacher into a draw 7? Is that what we're trying to set up? Delaying click? Okay. Well, I've got a Mana Drain hiding in the exile zone, so good luck with that. What sort of sick combo is Sandy setting up here? I have a Flame Tongue and a Recurring Nightmare. Not the most exciting. All right. Took the Flame Tongue, left Natural Order on top, which he gets to see. Oracle's one of the old ones. Augur of Autumn, they solved this, where you only get to look, but Oracle and Corsair are old, so he gets to see the Natural Order. Just like a Splinter Twin situation. Because he's just taking 1 million damage. He didn't even try to trade Click for Smuggler's Copter. Like, I guess I don't get it. Because the play Sandy's making, okay, indicate that he's going to, like, do something really big that doesn't care about the board, because he could have been playing to the board a lot more the last couple turns. It kind of feels like, I don't know. I just don't really know what's happening here. It would make a lot of sense if he goes Hull Breacher, Wheel of Fortune next turn, but the way he's playing, I just don't really understand what the plan is. I guess we'll see. Maybe it's like a time spiral or something. Sower of Temptation. So I'm going to take Luris and try to cast something. All right, I guess I will mana drain that. It's not even game over if Sower resolved, but I do think it's worth doing. Okay, so that was game 2. And let's go to game 3 here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with no Manglehorn. Anduril seems like it's way too hard to land. Don't want Dark Depths. Really happy with Voice of Resurgence and Flame Tongue. So I like the sideboarding. I guess I could see Abrupt Decay. It kills Brazen Borrower. It's kind of weak. Kills Bloodthirsty Adversary. Kills Fairy Mastermind and kills Ledger Shredder. Those are all okay. Is it possible that I want that over Knight of the Reliquary? I really wish I could kill Sower of Temptation. That Sower is actually one of the best cards against me because I can kill it with Flame Tongue. Otherwise, it's really hard for me to deal with. Oh, I guess I can kill it with Grist also. Yeah, I bet Abrupt Decay is probably going to be better on the draw than Knight. Okay, if we just draw Mox Pearl in our opening hand once again. Wouldn't mind that. We did. I mean, yeah, I'll keep this. This hand is weird, but it's got 2 expensive spells that it can't cast yet, but it has a lot of mana potential here, especially since it doesn't seem like he's got a lot of ways to deal with my Moxes. I haven't seen any artifact removal. Obviously, he's going to Skydiver my Mox Diamond. I'm going to lose. But currently, I'm at 4 mana, but I could be at 5 mana on turn 2. Like, if I draw a Swamp, this is a turn 2 Custodial Lich. Mana Vault. Okay. Where's my Manglehorn? Yeah, let's go Spara's Headquarters, Mox, discard Mountain, cast Halfling. All right. I'm a Swamp away from a turn 2 Custodial Lich, and this is actually a pretty fast uncounterable Atraxa. If I draw any creature, I'll have 6 mana. Okay. All right. Swamp for the win here. Oh, I think that does it. Wait, I can't tap the Mox Diamond. Oof. Green. Black. Yeah, look at that. Black mana. Mox. Turn 2 Custodial Lich. Look at that. You can't even Brazen Borrow your own Goldspan. That is a draw. Lotus Cobra was such a good draw because it's like drawing a black, but also fuels Cradle, which means next turn I get to Cradle out an Atraxa. Your move, Sandy. Your move. Oh, wait. Brazen Borrower actually does kind of work here. Okay. Because I become the Monarch here, but Lich needs to be in play for me to have the Custodial Lich ability happen. It's still pretty good for me, but it's not as good as it would have been because it doesn't kill the Goldspan. So that was a good play on Sandy's part. He has 2 cards in hand. The good thing is I have 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. If I draw any land, I get to cast Atraxa uncounterable here. Okay, black, blue. Oh, Atraxa, black, blue, green, white, 1. Don't Venser me, please, son. Come on, do not Venser me. Should I have griefed first? I guess I should have. Okay. At this point, though, I think I'll wait a turn because I want to get rid of I want to maybe get rid of Sower. I should have griefed first. I just didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, Atraxa is uncounterable. I should Atraxa first and then pitch something else to grief, and now I'm going to lose because of that. He drew the Strip Mine that turn. What a brutal draw for me. Okay. Any land gets me there still. I go to 6 here. All right, this game's still very winnable, but I did make it harder on myself for no good reason. Basically, if I had griefed, I could have griefed the Venser and then maybe gotten out of it. All right. Yeah, I guess I still have to grief here. But what a foolish play. All right, sometimes you play terrible. All right, you hit Firebolt. This is gone. Well, I mean, this isn't actually over. Go to 11, but I get to attack and take the Monarchy here. And Brazen Borrower doesn't stop that. Okay. And then now, the problem is, though, I can't cast Atraxa here because he's going to get to Firebolt my Lotus Cobra and then attack me for 7 down to 4. Yeah, if I had just grief first, I would have won this game. Ugh. Let my team down. Let myself down. Let my viewers down. Yeah, I sometimes you mess up, and that was just me thinking, oh, uncounterable Atraxa, I should do that first, which normally I think probably should, but I did specifically know he had Venser in his deck, and that's enough of a reason to change plans there. Okay. Well, Sandy's turn 2 Goldspan with Borrower Venser was enough to beat my turn 2 Custodial Lich, turn 3 Atraxa. I even drew Recurring Nightmare, which is kind of what I was hoping to draw earlier. I could Recurring Nightmare. Now I'm dead, and that is completely on me. I think I could have won that game. Well, let's try to rally, pull out a 2-1, and hopefully win this draft, but we are dead. All right, time to shake it off and play round 2, playing the Jujubin on Grixis with Force of Will, unfortunately. All right, well, I'll keep this. I need to draw a black source in order to crew this copter, but any black source, any creature would be good, and if I miss, I can cycle Spar's Headquarters on turn 2, which is, I wouldn't call that the dream, but I'm not going to mulligan a turn 1 Smuggler's Copter hand that has a lot of outs to have a pretty good draw. Yeah, obviously it always stings to throw a game, like last game, but you do what you got to do. Yeah, you take the L and you move on. It always does end up the same way, though, where you make a mistake where it's like, oh, because of Venser, I should have cast Grief first, and they have the one card that punishes you, in this case, the Venser. Okay. Let's hope that we draw a black source, or I would also take a creature here in before I draw Noble Hierarch. Oh no, getting duressed? Sorry, I meant Inquisition. Getting duressed is awesome. Well, he sees that I can't cast the thing. All right, let's play the Spar's Headquarters, which is like a little bit of a tell, because like you would think that I would cycle it, but because I drew Questing Beast, I'm just going to play it tapped, land. Oh, see, if I'd only drawn Knight last turn. Questing Beast. Do I crew Copter? I think I just attack. My hand is pretty good. Also, I'm a block away from casting Knight and Hexmage. I think I'd rather just attack for 4. Don't really want to discard either of these. I could have also played Knight of the Reliquary this turn, but I think Questing Beast is a little better because it just puts a lot more pressure on, and once you deal with that, then I can play the Knight maybe. All right. Got Damned. Grief, interesting. I could Grief. Well, this time I am going to play Knight first. Okay, we got Forest. Just pass the turn. I don't really want to Grief a Force of Will. I'm happy with Force of Will pitching that. You missed again. I mean, Juju, I didn't know there was a pretty good chance of missing, given I had Hexmage as my one card in hand. All right, Black Source. No, and the funny thing is, this doesn't let me crew the Copter. So I think I'm just going to play the Noble. I don't want to pitch Hexmage to play Grief here. Don't think that Because if I draw a swamp, I can just start casting these cards. Let's play Noble, pass the turn. It's unfortunately the only creature that doesn't crew Copterino here. All right, Inquisition. You finally hit on your hand disruption spell. Oh, Sylvan Library. All right, that one I will take. And I'll attack for 1. 14. Hopefully don't go land Scarab God. All right, I'll take 1. All right, let's find a black source. All right, so let's see. Put on top, pay 4 life, land, grief, and that's going to elicit something. I don't know what it is. Pretty nice to have multiple hand disruption spells fail. Urtai Resurrected, okay. And draw Custody Lich. Let's cast Halfling. And I think we just pass because I don't really want to discard the Custody Lich. And keeping Smuggler's Copter back means that the Kite Sail Freebooter can't attack. With Sylvan Library out, I kind of feel like trading 4 for 4, because this would be a 4-point attack thanks to Noble. Isn't where I want to be. And I actually think I might trade with Urtai because it means that Custody Lich takes out the Freebooter. And we'll see what JJ's got here, besides a bunch of good blue-black controlling cards. 2 cards in hand. Doesn't know the 1 card I have. Okay, there goes Mox. Oh no, is this the Scarab God? Oh, it's Fury. Okay, this is okay, but not fantastic. Let's crew this. These die. No attacks. Grist. Okay, so there's a Troxa, which I'm actually kind of close to casting. I could play Custody Lich, and then he sacrifices Urtai or Freebooter. The thing is, if he sacks those, then attacks me with everything. Interesting. I don't want to mill Atroxa is the problem with playing Swamp Grist. I want to cast Atroxa next turn. I could take 8 going down to 6. That would be pretty aggressive. If I play Custody Lich, let's say he sacrifices Freebooter and then attacks me with the 2. I trade with Urtai. I take 6 going to 8. He draws 1 card. I actually kind of like that. So let's go top. Actually, hold on. Undo. Put on top. Pay 4 life. Land. Custody Lich. And so what I like here is I get to draw the Grist. I paid 4 life to maximize the chance that I get to play Atroxa next turn. Though maybe I didn't need to. I don't know. I'm hoping he doesn't draw anything good. So now he attacks with both. I trade Smuggler's Copter for the Urtai. Go to 4 here. I will loot, yeah. I'm going to discard the Grist, I think. I go to 4. And if he doesn't have a play here, then my Lich can attack and take back the Monarchy, and that will kill the Fury as well. Ooh, Recurring Nightmare. Put on top. Put on top. Attack. Hope this works. Oh yeah, now I become the Monarch. Nug you. Land. Atroxa. And if Atroxa doesn't hit, then I get to Recurring Nightmare at next turn. Okay, artifact. Oh, sorcery, creature. Artifact, land. Land, I think I'll take Cradle. Yeah, all right. That was enough. All right, up a game there. Playing against a Grixis deck where I do think Voice Resurgence would be good. Once again, I think Andor would be kind of bad. Do I want Flame Tongue? That didn't seem spectacular. Guess it kills Grief, Urtai, Kitesail, Freebooter are the cards I saw. I do kind of like the idea of Gaunty. I think Stage Depths is good here, though. So that means if I want to play the Gaunty, I need to take out another card. Oh, Manglehorn has 1 Mox to hit that we saw. All right. Let's go this way. All right. Game 2 on the draw. It was kind of nice that Duress and Freebooter both missed that game. I wonder if he's going to side out Duress. Maybe on the play you keep it. Yeah, I'll keep this hand. This hand does need to draw green, black, or blue mana. I have a blue-green source, a multiple of them actually, with Spara's Headquarters and a couple fetches that get it, so there is that. I also could discard Custodial Lich on turn 1. Do I want to run that? I think that's just too risky. I'm going to play the Mox in case I get Duressed. The problem is JJ's got Duress, Inquisition, Kitesail, Freebooter, Force of Will. So many cards that just make turn 1 discard pretty bad. So, I don't know. It didn't seem like the play. Okay, well now I get to play Questing Beast next turn. If it dies, I can reanimate it, and I can maybe natural order it away. Mind Twist. Keep reanimate, please. All right. Could have been worse, I guess. No, it couldn't have been much worse. I mean, losing Questing Beast would have been worse, I guess, but I lost Reanimate and Natural Order, which were both pretty good. Yeah, now we're pretty bummed. Draw. I'm gonna cycle this, I think. Yeah, I guess I'll get Hex Drinker out there and start to go to town on Hex Drinker here. Let's see if he's got an answer. Does. All right. Well, there's Voice of Resurgence. Hoorah. Sadly, my natural order's gone. Recurring Nightmare. That would be a draw here. Oh, he played the Otawara. Ah, I see. It's got no cards in hand. All right. Noble Hierarch. I guess I play it and chump. Yeah, Mind Twist into 3 removal spells. That'll do it. As it turned out, the discarding Custodial Lich plan could have been decent, but don't think I want Abrupt Decay. Do I want Luris? I don't think so. I think we're good to go. All right, game 3. On the play, this does nothing until I play Oracle on turn 4 and has a Trox in my opening hand. I hate mulliganing in these attrition matchups, but this hand seems pretty bad. What would it take to make this hand good? If I drew Noble Hierarch, Sylvan Library, either Mox, Grist. Oracle does get me to casting Atraxa sooner than most. But I have 2 kind of dead cards in my hand. I think I mulligan here. Okay, I like this more. I'm going to put Atraxa back and hope that I can natural order for it. Yeah, this hand's a lot better. So here, if I draw a black, I get to play Grist on turn 2, which would be nice. Or, never mind. All right, play this. Well, I get to play Grist on turn 3. If I can land Grist, I'm going to be really happy. It's going to play the Giant here, maybe? Okay, that's fine. I guess I don't need to Arid Mesa. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me look at my deck real quick. Oh, man. Brutal. I drew the Savannah, so Arid Mesa is not untapped anymore. That is a shame. All right, well, I'm going to play Grist and really hope that I draw an untapped land next turn. Or also, if he kills the insect token, my Grist dies, which this Bone Crusher was pretty good against my sequence. Okay, didn't do that. Mind Twist my hand, sure. Yeah, all right. I'm just going to lose now. Just getting Mind Twisted right out of the game here. I can't really... Yeah, I mean, turn 1, land Mox, kill your 1-drop, play a 4/3, Mind Twist you for 3 on turn 3. After I mulliganed is a rough place to be. I guess if I draw Dark Depths, I could probably win. Hopefully his hand is mostly discard spells. Just draw Inquisition, Freeboot, or Duress. I'd be okay with all that. Okay, well, I'm going to block. Okay. Thespian Stage, the Proving Ground in case I draw. Oh, actually, I guess I should have countered copied Darkslick Shores. Maybe I'll recopy now because of Time Walk. I mean, if he's got all discard and lands in hand, I guess I could maybe win this game. It doesn't feel very winnable to me right now, but I suppose it technically is. The fact that my natural order is gone is also unfortunate because that was one of the ways I could randomly spike and win. End of turn, I'm going to turn this into Darkslick Shores because maybe I draw Time Walk. I mean, he's in the tank. Does he have Treachery? You could consider treacherying the insect token, attacking Grist down to 2, but that still doesn't actually kill the Grist, luckily. Treachery is a card I'm worried about here, but I mean, not in a position to play around anything, of course. I'm not even that close to casting Atraxa, unfortunately. Sylvan Library could still be an okay draw. What are my good draws? I mean, Recurring Nightmare could be great here. If I draw Recurring Nightmare, sack my token to bring back Grief. That's like a start at least. And then Gaunty could be decent. Obviously, just drawing Dark Depths could win me the game here. I'm still glad I mulliganed. My second hand was a lot better, but as it turned out, Kill Your Thing into Mind Twist was pretty good against me, as it tends to be. The fact that I mulligan meant the Mind Twist hit every card in my hand as well. Okay, yep, I'll block. Land go. All right, let's copy the Darkslick Shores actually, just because of Time Walk here, and Atraxa, I guess. Oh, that's probably the worst card in my deck, so that's cool. Or as Knight of the Reliquary would have been like an excellent draw. Yeah. There's no way that drawing Mox Diamond wasn't the literal worst card in my deck. Well, he's gonna all lands. Every turn that goes on makes me feel like I'm a little more likely to win, just because it shows you that his hand is just not that good. But if I keep drawing junk, it's going to be hard. All right, Voice of Resurgence. I'm going to sack Voice here. The reason I'm doing this is I think he's got Treachery in hand, and I would much rather him Treachery a 1/1 than a Voice of Resurgence, and this kills the Bone Crusher. Also, this is actually pretty nice because he can't really do anything here. He can't kill it in response because if he casts any spell, then I get a token. This seems pretty good. Let's see what, I mean, I really can't imagine a response that makes sense here. Maybe you have like multiple kill spells in hand and you're like, in response, kill Voice, you get a token. In response, then kill the token and then kill the other token because when Voice dies, I get a token. So yeah, I don't really see how this ends anywhere but poorly if JJ tries to do anything. Oh, Otawara? Otawara is the one thing I think could be bad here. Yeah, Otawara wrecks me pretty hard. But I still think that doing this was the right move. Because it does play around Treachery nicely. So if he's got Otawara, what is he going to do? I mean, you just bounce the voice in response, attack Grist down to 1. Or is the joke to let me sack, and then when I target Bone Crusher, cycle and bounce the Bone Crusher? And then you get to shock and kill Voice of Resurgence. Okay, well, he's got to have Odawara in hand because he's just going so deep in the tank. I think if you do have Odawara, bouncing the Bone Crusher in response to the trigger targeting it leaves me with a 1/1, which you can then stomp, and then you replay Bone Crusher. Yeah, that's actually not that bad for me. Likewise, bouncing Voice and attacking Grist down to 1 isn't the end of the world either. Kind of depends what else he's got. I will say JJ plays great, but he takes a long time to make his plays. That's I guess part of his method. But we've been in the tank for 3 minutes now or whatever. I don't think I've ever taken that long to make a single play in my life. Though it could be argued that I could take a little longer to make some of my plays, so there is that as well. All right, let's see what you got here. I have narrowed it down to Odawara, if that's the jam. Let's see, I pinged in the chat. He's like hard spot. Sorry, yeah, I suppose so. Let's see. Yeah, at some point you're going to want to make some kind of play here. I mean, I assume it's Odawara. Like, I can't really think of a card that you could possibly be thinking about otherwise. What would I do if, not knowing the rest of his hand, of course, if I had Odawara in hand? So your options are either bounce Voice, attack Grist down to 1, though you run the risk of my last card being a white source, which we know it's not, but he doesn't. Or let me sack Voice, I target Bone Crusher, Odawara the Bone Crusher. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think this was slightly better. All right. Pass the turn. Too bad I couldn't Thespian Stage for white source there. This also lets you Inquisition the Voice if you've got it. And is good with Treachery. All right, well, I'll play the Voice first. Okay, +1 Grist. Mill Thragtusk. Play Hexmage. Pass the turn. All right, I drew Hexmage Stage. Need to draw depths. Gonna get my Voice Treacheried here. I also have blockers for Bone Crusher now. Like, I could try to take it out by double blocking. Kind of depends on what he lets me do. Fury would... I mean, I can't beat Fury anyway. Fury would be bad. Hoping that his hand is like land, duress, and you just drew a freebooter or something like that. But I don't think we're that lucky. I have milled... I've milled a good card every turn and drawn a bad one. That's not true. Voice is a good card to draw. The rest of them have been pretty bad. It's not like Hexmage does anything here. It's better than a land, but not much better. Would like to draw one of my action spells. Gaunty, Sylvan, any of those things. All right, Duress, take my Mox. Well, at least he has the Duress. I like to see that. The Mox was hideously bad draw. Time Walk would be a good draw. Yeah, here's the Treachery on the Voice of Resurgence. Yeah. And I think I just go for the double block on Bone Crusher if he lets me. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see a better alternative here. Okay. All right. Sure, we take it. Oh, and then the Scarab. Oh, okay. All right, so now I basically need to draw Dark Depths like right away. Sylvan Library, not going to be good enough. Plus, and mill Recurring Nightmare every turn. So you can bring back something. I guess if I find Dark Depths here, there's no flyers in the graveyard currently, so I technically have an out. He's going to upkeep, bring back like Thragtusk or something. The Thragtusk means I don't even really have a great shot of winning. Oh, Hex Mage to kill Grist, sure. Dang. I was hoping to fade Scarab God. That was the best card in his deck at this point, but unfortunately did not. Let's just block here. Okay, draw. Oracle of Moldiah. I'm gonna get griefed maybe. Yeah. Okay. Okay, didn't get griefed. Let's play Oracle to try to hit depths here, I guess. Land. Play Cobra. I think I'm just dead though. I mean, he gets to animate 2 things. Yeah, I can't win this game. All right. 0-2. Let's see if we can get the last round there. That was a painful game. I just had 5 or 6 turns to draw something and it just kept bricking. But it's the way the cookie crumbles, poorly and not in your favor. All right, time for round 3. Let's see if we can salvage this. I feel like I should be 1-1. Losing to the dog was extremely self-inflicted, but got to play from where you're at. All right, I'll keep this hand. On the draw against blue-black Reanimator with like Gristlebrand, Flash, Reanimates, Shallow Grave, that sort of thing. Not literal Reanimate because I have that card, but and I guess splashing red for Faithless Looting and I think Bitter Reunion. My turn 1 is just going to be Noble, but I have a lot of mana this hand, and if I draw a second black, I can have an early grief. This looks a lot like the hand I should have beaten Sandy with. Discarded Grave Titan and Lava Claw. All right, well, here if I draw a black card, I'm just going to grief. I did not, just to try to not get turn 2 reanimated. Okay. Hopefully we're not getting Shallow Grave this turn. Cycle Troll. Well, since I have Reanimate, this makes it a little less likely that we get reanimated on this turn. Fatal Push, sure. Okay. Swamp. Halfling is good, and I think I'll play the Mox here in case of discard. Though I feel like we're going to get reanimated now, and we're not going to be able to win. Maybe not? No. Oh. That's actually fine. Okay, I'm going to get to grief one of the last cards, and then we got a game from there. I haven't drawn a spell yet, but I did draw a Swamp, though. The Swamp was good. Opposition, Agent, and Thirst. All right, I'm going to take Thirst and make sure not to natural order here. Swamp, Oppo, Agent. Well, the good news is Xantos spent a couple turns killing my creatures, which certainly the right play from their perspective. I just didn't have anything good to play, so I was happy about how that worked out. And now we're just hoping to draw action of various shapes and sizes. Flashback Looting. Alrighty. What's my best draw here? Honestly, like Andorol would be a really good draw right now. Discard Opposition Agent and Jace. Okay. Wow. What expensive card do you have that you discarded Jace over Swamp? Interesting. All right. Spell? Nope. All right. I'll attack for 3. I'm going to make a Tar Pit end of turn, I guess. Yeah, I actually have drawn... What did I draw? Swamp, Forest so far. Shieldred, sure. Okay. Grief down. It's a 4/5 menace. I guess I'll cycle this. Natural order. Well, that means if I draw a creature, then I could get a good natural order off here. And the opposition agent is gone, so the coast is clear. Santos has Swamp in hand right now, I think. Yeah, all right. There goes Brain Maggot. I could also just cast a Troxa if I draw it. Like, that's part of the reason I copied the Tar Pit, is I wanted a blue source. Wait, did they play their swamp? I think they might have played their... No, there we go. That wasn't the swamp I knew about. But anyways, okay. I'm at 16. I'm facing down 5 power, but I've got enough mana to cast my good spells. I'm going to cycle this. Sure. I guess I'll play Manglehorn. Kill your Mox before you get sighted out, Manglehorn. 8 cards in graveyard is when this flips, so got to watch out for that. Now I'm only taking 4 a turn instead of 5. Though if Xantos draws a blue source, that goes up a lot because of the Tar Pit. If I draw Dark Depths, I'm happy. If I draw a Trox, I'm very happy. Recurring Nightmare is okay. It's not like they're going to have a bunch of cards in hand that do some things. Oh, you just drew Exhume. Okay. Cool. Do I put in Grief or Noble? I'm going to put in Grave Titan. I guess Grief is just slightly bigger. Okay, and land. I mean, that is a land. I guess I'll play this and pass. I do win now. If Xantos doesn't draw a way to deal with a flyer, I am actually going to win this game. Duh, I think that's game, right? I block Grave Titan. I take 7 off Shieldred. I go to 2. No, actually, I don't even go to 2 because I can just make Depths into a creature now. He's got no cards in hand. Nice. I actually got a win off the Depths thing. Okay. We're getting back into it. Dodging the 0-3. Timely Dark Depths top deck. That was nice. Keep this Depths. Yield through this turn. Merit Lodge blocks Grave Titan. Manglehorn blocks Zombie. Grief blocks that. Actually, hold on. And it doesn't really matter, but this is, I think, correct. And then I take 2 9 damage. I'm at 3. And then I get to attack back with the Who's a What's It. And I have 7 cards in graveyard, so Shieldred's not even active, but it doesn't matter. Okay, up a game. Gonti actually seems good against that deck. Manglehorn does not. I don't think I want Flame Tongue all that much. Kroxa, Voice. No, I think Luris. No. I think I just make that swap. Okay. Up a game. Well, this hand's at least explosive. So I'm going to keep it. It's got some potential. Another cheap creature leads to a fast Custody Lich. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm going to lead on Hexdrinker. I think I go Mox. Discard Forest. Cast Hexdrinker. Play Verdant. Pass, because I'm going to get a tap land with my Verdant. I'm going to get Spar's Headquarters. The next turn, the question is, do I level up Hexdrinker or do I play Anduril? I guess it'll depend on what I see here. Also what I draw on my turn. There's Shriekmaw and Fatal Push can kill Hexdrinker. Okay, JVP. Let's get Spar's Headquarters. Draw. Oh, interesting. The problem is Time Walking here doesn't do that much. I think I'm going to play Anduril and just go for the Gusto. Look, Time Walking doesn't let me play Anduril next turn and equip it. If I do this, look, if Hexdrinker dies, then so be it. But if it doesn't, next turn I get to go equip Anduril, Time Walk, and just win the game straight up. Whereas Time Walking right now doesn't really accomplish anything. So I think this is better. Obviously, there's ways this goes wrong. But the ways this goes wrong, I think, yeah, like Shriek Maw kills my Hex Drinker no matter what. So I just need to draw a creature here, a cheap creature, and I'm in, I think, very good shape. Okay, so that's not a cheap creature. I do think I'm going to Time Walk here anyway and get Proving Ground, and now I just need to draw a land to play the Lich. Land? Okay, so now I get to play Custodial Lich here, kills Jace, and then you could take back the Monarchy with Creeping Tar Pit attack, but that's just really not going to be effective because then I get to equip Anduril on Lich and attack for 7 and make 2 tokens. Okay, what is this? Shieldred. Oh, Reanimate's pretty good. So one problem with Reanimate is I'm the Monarch, so reanimating the Custodial Lich won't actually kill the Shieldred. It's weird. And Shriek Maw won't either. So I think I'm going to reanimate the Hex Drinker. Level it up, level it up, level it up. Land, equip the sword. And then hope that Xantos doesn't have a way to kill it. But the thing is, it's pro instance, so Fatal Push doesn't do it, and Shriek Maw's already been used. And then next turn, I can attack with it and get 2 tokens. And the one thing I have to watch out for is if I give it pro everything, the Hex Drinker, the sword will fall off. So what I think I want to do is get one hit in with the sword, and then after that, give it pro everything. My Cradle's going to tap for a lot of mana. Una's Prowler, sure. Oh, that's a little annoying. Let's see what we draw. Because the Una's Prowler means if I want to attack with Hex Drinker without giving it pro everything, then I don't get the Monarchy. You're at 17. I think I need to get the tokens. All right, I guess I'll just do it this way then. Okay. 10. Yeah, I guess I'm probably going to lose this. Let's go Cradle. Level it up. 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 Sword just de-equips and then equip sword on one of the tokens. And pass the turn. Yeah, Xantos being able to animate Tar Pit, attack, and then have a blocker afterwards was pretty disastrous for me because I really needed that not to be the case, because then I would get a hit in for 7 and then next turn threaten lethal with the sword plus the tokens plus the Hex Drinker. As things currently stand, I can do 11, which is not going to be close to lethal. However, if I draw something that affects the board, who knows? If I draw like, I don't know. I guess there's not that much I can draw because Tar Pit has me down to 3 and there's a Tar Pit in play. The problem was if I reanimated Custodial, it just wouldn't do that much. So let's draw. Yeah, I mean, I'll attack and then oh, we even have Fatal Push for that. Okay, I guess I attack to take initiative, but I don't think I have anything here. Equip this, draw. Okay, game 3 here. Yeah, I don't think Flame Tongue is really where I want to be. I think we're good to fire it off here. Abrupt Decay can't even kill Creeping Tar Pit, unfortunately. I don't think Lurrus of the Dream Den is what I want. It does have kind of a lot of removals or something I want to cut for Lurrus. I think Anduril's actually fine here. Yeah. No, I like where I'm at. Let's see if we can get a match here. If I don't get a match, my team loses. But if I get a match, then we've got outs because Slacks Jesse is gonna 3-0. I think he's 2-0 and his deck's great. And if I get one and Frog gets one, then that's a draft. So it's on me. I got my one already, or should have, against Sandy, but unfortunately didn't. It turns out Sandy has Black Lotus also, by the way. Didn't see that. All right, game 3 on the play. Let's go. Yeah. I think I have to keep this. This hand does need to draw Mox pretty badly, but we'll see. I can also pitch Grief. I'm going to get the Zeator's Proving Ground here. Okay, draw. Okay, Hex Drinker's not bad. Let's go Hex Drinker and then put a counter on it. Pass. If Xantos went turn 1, Faithless Looting, discard Gristlebrand, I would have felt obliged to Grief, but I don't feel that I have to right now. We'll see what we draw. If we draw Reanimate, that would be sick, because then I would just Grief and then reanimate the Grief, or reanimate something from their side, even better. As things stand, I'm still just going to cast the Grief next turn. I think it's strong enough to do that. At some point, I would like to draw a land to cast Oracle as well. We'll see what the play is here. If it's Shriekmaw, my Hex Drinker, I'm pretty happy about that. If it's pass with mana up, I'm definitely just going to attack with Hex Drinker, and you got to use your Fatal Push now. I'm not trying to level up Hex Drinker into Fatal Push. The thing that's tricky is if it's Faithless Looting, discard Gristlebrand or Grave Titan, what do I do? I guess it depends on what I draw. So we'll see what Xantos does here. A lot of potential outs. If I draw Pearl, that'd be really nice. If I draw Pearl, I'd feel really good about pitching Grist, because then I could just play Oracle this turn and set up Oracle into Anduril, and that would be great. Mox Diamond would not be a very good draw. Passing with mana up after tanking for a while. Okay. Okay. Swamp is a good draw. Swamp means I can cast Grist this turn and Grief next turn. You're going to use that Fatal Push or what? I think I should still play Stage though, because if I draw Depths, I might just do that. Because if I draw Depths, I'm just going to pitch Grist to Grief. Oh no, I guess I'm casting Grist this turn. If I draw Depths, I'm still probably going to play Dark Depths. Deep in the tank here, unless it's me getting disconnected. No, it's not. All right. Swamp. Oh, after all that talk, I just played the Swamp because it was the closest one to me. Whatever. There's a Swamp. I'm casting Grist. Will Grist resolve? $64,000 question. All right, I guess it did. And oh, there's Vamp. Oh, okay. Pretty scared of that. Vamp could be real bad for me. We'll see what happens here. The good news is Grist gives me a little bit of protection against some stuff. Like, if you put a Grave Titan or a Gristlebrand into play, I can maybe kill it, but I kind of feel like this is going to be a disaster. Let's find out, I suppose. Show and tell? Okay. What do I put into play? It's kind of a good question. I think I put Oracle into play. Ulamog. Okay. Interesting. No. That stupid Arid Mesa. It can't tap for mana. Let's go Ulamog, huh? Well, I'm going to make a bunch of tokens off this Anduril, I think. Well, I guess the Ulamog can block the Anduril, but maybe let's just plus with Grist first to mill. Oh, there's Dark Depths, and I have Stage. I guess we'll do that instead. So let's play Dark Depths. Let's play Thespian Stage. Let's level up Hex Drinker once, I suppose. And pass the turn. So I want to see what Xantos has that interacts with Dark Depths, because I think I might block the Ulamog with Dark Depths. I can sack 2 insects. What I want to keep is Grist around. Let me just, I need to ask them this. Basically, I want to keep Grist around so that Xantos can't play an Una's Prowler or another flyer post-combat. I need the Grist -2 to kill it. Oh, you're tapping mana right now? Fatal push that. Sure. We're up to 3 blue. I think I just block then. Attacking me. Well, attacking me, let's see, what am I sacking? I guess I do want to even sack a land, so you know what, I'm gonna make the depths now. I don't really think that it makes sense. Let's choose a depths to keep. Ooh, I almost chose the wrong one. Alright. Sack that. Annihilator 4, sack land, 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 land. Block. Okay. And then even if you clone the depths, suspend Cloudskate. Nope, that's game. Ooh, we got our match. That was close. That was close, but Merit Lodge finally came through, and the only match we won involved double Dark Depths. So let's root on Alpha Frog and hope that he wins his last round, because we are 1-2, and that might be enough for our team to win. Let's pray. All right, we're gonna hop in on Alpha Frog's game. He just cast through the breach. Oh, and the breach resolved. Here comes the World Spine Worm. Rumble in for 15. And then, well, I guess it's only going to be 12 because the Phoenix is like a free block. But then leave behind 3 5/5 worms with Sandy at 7 and with Alpha Frog at 18 still. This game looks like it's in real good shape for the good guys. That's us, of course. Really hope we win so my punt didn't cost my team. That's obviously the worst, is to have that happen. And then at this point, Palantir is going to for sure give Gavin an extra card, I would imagine. Sandy at 7 life, especially there's a World Spine Worms back in the deck. So, all right, this lets Gavin draw an extra card. And I know from inside information that Gavin's got the 1 ring in hand, which means that even if these 3 worms don't take it down, the 1 ring is going to give him a pretty good shot here. Oh, this is Rekindling Phoenix coming back. Yeah, no, we get it. Okay, so this, you attack for 6, down to 12. Now, Goldspan doesn't do it. 15 points of trample coming in. I guess 7 toughness plus, like, maybe you Venser, if you peeled Venser one of the worms. That can buy Sandy a turn. But against Palantir and the 1 ring, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Frogerto is going to get his match. And that means both me and Frog won a match. So we did our jobs of sorts. And we'll see if Jesse can get the rest. Let's see. In comes Ether Channeler, bouncing a worm token. Okay, that does buy Sandy a turn. Because this is 10 points of attacks. Well, it actually buys more than a turn because you end up getting to take down the 2 worms. Oh, we got ourselves a game. Channeler killing a worm was a pretty big game. Let's see if... Okay, discarding a Foff. Can't play the adversary, but Sandy is down to 1 card in hand with a tapped Mana Vault as well. Let's see, the 2 worms attack. Adversary and Ledger Shredder double block 1. Rekindling Phoenix and Ether Channeler double block 1. You take 1 trample. Oh, we're getting in there with the Phoenix. Oh, and the Ledger Shredder. No, you can't do that, Sandy. Unless you have a Mind Collapse as your last card. Yeah, no. Okay, so now I like that Sandy's getting aggressive here. That's better for us because we've got the 1 ring. But Sandy also is getting pressured by Palantir of Orthonk. So now let's say Frog attacks with the 2 worms. Phoenix plus adversary takes down a worm. Sandy goes to 2. Wow, that Ledger Shredder attack was really aggressive. I guess Sandy plays one way, but I think that's really good for our team. Especially since Gavin knows he's going to play 1 ring next turn, or this turn rather, and not get attacked again. Here goes Ancient Tomb. Oh, we're just tapping out pre-combat for Crater of Behemoth. Oh, that'll do the trick. And Gavin wins the match. Let's check in on Jesse and see how this goes. All right. Unfortunately, despite the heroic victories of the underperformers in the last round, Slacks ended up losing his last round, so we went 2-1, 1-2, 1-2. That's a loss. But, you know, I like the deck. I think it could have done a little better, and hopefully next time I play a little better with this Grief card. That'll do it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me, spending your time watching me teach you what not to do with Grief, Atroxa, and Delighted Halfling. I'll be back tomorrow with another draft, and this time we'll be taking home the bacon. Thanks for watching.